Howdy everyone, Alistair here, along with shop dogs, Bentley and Moose, who are great helps. No, they're not. Anyways, I just wanted to take a minute and make a video, pretty much describing who I am actually, considering I don't think I've ever done a video introducing myself, so hopefully I don't bore you too much and this is somewhat interesting to you. But anyway, so here it goes. So, I'm Alistair Gray. I am a Cancer, love long walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm a big car guy, if you couldn't tell. I got the Wagoneer here, 62 Chevy I'm sitting here. So where did this all begin? Well, this began when I was like, well, probably about four or three, you know, because as soon as I got my first Hot Wheel, I was hooked. Cars I grew up with actually are I grew up with a lot of classics. When I was younger, my mom and dad had a 68 Ford Mustang. My dad had a 79 Bronco, dead side Bronco. Had this guy that I have, the 62 Chevy. Got the 81 Wagoneer that he had for a little bit. That was, well, he actually had that for a while, probably about 5 or 6 years. That's what kind of grew my love for, well, off-roading Wagoneers, hence why I have one. Because, I mean, that thing was unstoppable. We used to go up and down Oregon coast, up in the mountains, mobbing around, and that thing would not, the thing was unstoppable. It was awesome. And it had wood paneling, so it did it in class, you know? So that's why I grew my love in Wagoneers, Jeeps in general, and off-roading. And then, of course, my uncle growing up, too, he had a 86 Jeep Cherokee XJ. And we did a lot of off-roading in that, too, up in the mountains in Oregon and the dunes. So I grew a love for Jeeps early on too as well. So surprisingly, you'd think I'd be a Ford guy because as I already named a few Fords my dad had, and he had plenty more dent sides and bump sides growing up. But I'm not a diehard Ford fan. I love Fords, don't get me wrong, and I am a fan of Fords, but I love a little bit of everything. So, excuse you. So with that being said, yeah, I love a little bit of everything. Let's see here. Let's just actually talk about the cars I've owned, and that'll kind of help you guys understand. So this was one of the first vehicles I got actually when I was 16. I got the 62 Chevy handed down to me. Of course, I was running at the time, and then I ended up with a 77 Chrysler Cordova at the same time, and that I never got running. It ended up becoming lawn ornament as I slowly worked on it, but then I ended up with a 1980 Buick Regal with 305, and that was really technically my first car I actually drove once I had my license. I mean, I drove before I had my license, of course, but that was my first like really commute car that I owned. I was a running driving car, and I had that car all the way up until I was about 20. When I decided to move to Chicago, I put this in storage, and I sadly let go of that car. I'll show you some pictures actually at the end of this video of the cars in order that I've owned, just so you guys can see a little slideshow. So, and I love that car. It was a Regal Somerset actually. So, it was like the top of the line Regal. I found the paperwork in the car. The guy bought it off the showroom floor with 4 miles on it when he bought the car, and it had a matching umbrella. It was the two-toned Somerset, which was beige with the blue. It was kind of like divided where it's beige on the bottom and the back top, and then the front of the top was dark navy blue onto the hood. And I love that car. I ended up getting in a wreck in that car, but I was still running and driving. Somebody T-boned me, ran a red light and T-boned me, and that was my first accident in the vehicle as well. But I was fine, the car was fine, but it had a nice big old crater in the side of the door and the quarter panel on the passenger side. And funny enough, the door, I got to work after that. It didn't want to work at first, but I got to work. And the funny thing is, if you didn't lock it though, and you were driving and you took a corner too sharp, that door would swing open. The latch just did not latch very well. So you always had to make sure you locked it. And let's see, I almost lost a date once because I took the girl on a date and I told her to lock the door after I closed her in, being a gentleman I am. She forgot to lock it and took the quarter, and I heard her go, "Oop, oh my," and I was like, oh shit, let me close that for you. But I lost a whole 3 pizzas too because my buddy forgot to lock the door after I told him as well, and he was holding the 3 pizzas as we were going to a party, and he was egging me on, you know, stupid teenager, drift this car can't drift, blah, blah, blah. So I power slid in this gravel road and took this corner just nice, and that door, well, it swung open, and I heard him go, oh crap, and all the pizzas went everywhere, and I gotta go back and buy more pizzas. So that was pretty funny. Had a lot of good memories in that car. Wish I still had it, to be honest, even with the dent. But anyways, moving on. So I had that car. I had my uncle, the one I was just talking about that had the Jeep Cherokee XJ. He gave me a Cherokee for graduating high school, actually. It was my late aunt's Cherokee. It was 90, and I loved that Jeep. And I owned that Jeep all the way until, well, I would still own it today if it wasn't for this fact. As I'll explain, as I explained earlier, actually, I moved to Chicago in my 20s, early 20s, and I brought that Jeep with me and spent 6 winters in, you know, good old Salt Belt Chicago, and all that road salt just ate the hell out of it, which was very unfortunate. So bad to the point where it was all in the rockers and in the actual unibody frame, right by the leaf springs. So it would have taken I could have saved it. It would have taken a lot of work, and at the time in life, which I regret, kind of because of a girl too that I was dating, I ended up retiring the Jeep and buying a different Cherokee to drive as my daily. But anyways, so I had that Cherokee, built it up, had long arms, 35s. It was like a 7-inch lift. I kind of mismatched the lift, but it was about a 7-inch lift. Had 456 gears in it. It was a pretty badass Cherokee. I miss it. It was pretty awesome. But I had that one, and then I had an 88 that I bought after I retired that one. Limited. I owned up until about a couple years. I sold that when I was in Florida. Wish I still had that one too. That was like one of the cleanest ones I had. And then I owned another Qdoba. I had a 76 Qdoba for a little bit, and that was a great car. I had a 77 Corvette. I had a 78 Chevy Square Body that I owned for a minute. Mainly though, that was just ended up being for parts for this rig. That's where I got the big block from. So, because it was rotted, it was cancer ridden. I mean, it was like I touched the firewall, and the firewall pretty much fell in on itself. So I ended up pretty much pouring that out and using the big block for this. Out of that, along with the Turbo 400. So there's that rig, and then I owned a 70 International for a minute. I owned a Grand Cherokee, a 93 Grand Cherokee for a minute. I owned a few different Cherokees, a couple 87s, another 88, an 89, 91, and a 2000. So I've owned quite a few Cherokees here and there. What else have I owned? 97 Ford F-250, which I missed that truck. I wish I still had that truck, actually. That was a great truck. Actually, I've done a few videos on that truck, doing like, I think I did a seat swap video of some sort on that on my channel here, if you want to check in. I went from the bench seat to the OBS Ford bucket seats with a little chintzy fold down where you could have the cup holders. I did that. That was a great truck, though. That was a 5.8 with the 5-speed 4-wheel drive. I sold that truck when I moved to Florida. I wish I still had it. I had an 86 Ford F-150, short bed, step side, 4-wheel drive with a 5.8 for a minute. I ended up selling that truck too because I moved. I might have done a video on that truck too. I can't remember. There might be one video on that one. I'll have to look. I haven't done very many videos if you looked at my site. I'm trying to get back on this, especially that I have way more time. Let's see here. What else do I own or did own? That might have been about it, actually. I feel like I'm missing a few things. Well, anyways, if I remember, I'll post it up on the little thing I'll do here at the end of the slideshow. So I've owned a little bit of everything. Other than, I haven't owned, well, I guess you could consider Jeep a Chrysler product. I mean, I'm old school Jeep, so I think of AMC days, but yeah, I've owned a few Chrysler products if you count Jeep, but I haven't owned any Dodges really, not yet. I mean, my dream car is a 69 Dodge Charger. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. I'm 35 and I haven't made that happen yet, but we'll see. Boy, are they expensive. But anyways, so that's a little bit about me. Like I said, now I reside back in my hometown on the Oregon coast. I love Oregon. Big Northwest guy. I love the mountains. I love the beach. I love the Pacific Northwest. I try to stay out of California. No offense against you guys, but California's wild. Well, I mean, I love visiting California, but I'm sorry, too expensive and would never want to live there. Oregon's getting kind of bad too, but anyways, love the state. Like I said, I grew up here. My dad and uncle are longtime commercial fishermen out of here, or they were. So coming from a commercial fishing family, I never commercial fished, um, but yeah, so has some pretty big roots here. And I've moved away twice and always came back, so don't plan on moving away again, to be honest. I'm here for good. So with that being said, I'll probably end up, you probably see some videos. I do a lot of photography too, and you probably see some video. I'll put some videos of Oregon stuff, you know, when I go up the mountains and stuff like that, and show you guys how awesome and beautiful it is around here. Not to get tree hugger on you. I'm not that kind of person, but I do admire nature, that's for sure. So with that being said, I'll share some of that stuff with you guys on this channel, just some fun stuff. But let's talk about the main gist of what this channel is for automotive shenanigans. A little bit about my background with mechanics. Like I said, I've loved classic cars since a young age. I've worked on them all the way since my early teens. I'm not saying I know everything. I did go to school, got 2 associate's degrees when I was in Illinois for mechanics. And I've had a few auto mechanic jobs here and there at shops, but a lot of my stuff I've built my own and done my own. Again, not saying that I know everything. I do not know everything, and I'm still learning. I mean, that's the beautiful thing, right? We're always learning. So I will never say that I know it all, because I don't. But hopefully with my videos here, I can maybe teach you guys a thing or two. If you're watching me work on the 63 Chevy or the Wagoneer or whatever other project I bring you. Because that's my main goal for this channel is A, to show you the progress of the vehicles I'm working on, B, hopefully maybe you guys learn something, or I can help you guys in something, whether you're trying to learn on the G-Wagoneer you bought, C10 or whatever I end up working on. And, you know, hopefully it's entertaining, a third thing. Hopefully you guys are entertained by it, and I'm not completely boring you like I probably am now with rambling on. And last but not least, I mean, for my own sake, other than I just love to help and make videos and show you guys what's going on, you know, a little part of me, of course, can't deny it. I'm hoping maybe I make a few, not like get rich off this channel, but maybe I'll make a few bucks where I can actually buy a few car parts, you know, for the projects. So with that being said, subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. Subscribe if you like. If not, no big deal. I'll just haunt you in your dreams. No, I'm just kidding. Subscribe if you like what you hear and what you see, and there'll be more to come on this. I already did a walk around video on the 63 Chevy about a year ago, or 2 years ago, when I came back for a visit when I was living in Florida. I had to store it at my mom's house when I was living in Florida. But now I got my own shop at my place, and it's beautiful. So it's here. But if you want to watch a walk around on this and know more about it, that video will explain a lot of it. And if you have a question about it, feel free to hit me up and ask me. Hey, buddy. Uh-oh, here comes the jealous one. So let's see here. So that's a little bit about me. The vehicles, you'll be seeing videos on this guy as I work on this guy. We got a lot of work to do on this Wagoneer over here. It's turned into a bigger project than I intended to. Surprise, surprise. So you'll see a lot more how-tos and as I work on this thing. Future projects, I'm working on another Wagoneer deal right now, actually. It's in the works. Hopefully I make it happen, where I'm going to end up with 2 Wagoneers. I'm working on trying to seal the deal, and they need some loving. Well, one needs some loving. The other one's kind of a parts rig. So I'll do some videos on that once I get it over here, if the deal works out. And another thing I'm working on is my lady, she loves square bodies, and she really wants a short box square body four-wheel drive. Holy cow, those things are expensive these days, even for a project. But which would probably be easier just to buy a fully together one, even though they're expensive. But of course, I don't do that. As you can see, I don't have a lot of money, but you know, I find some scraps and I put something together. So I ended up with most likely, I haven't picked it up yet. I haven't looked at it, but I'm ending up with a frame a solid frame. That's a short bed, four-wheel drive, square body, and it's rolling frame, rolling chassis, and we're going to build it from the ground up. Again, it's going to be expensive doing it that way, but again, buying a whole truck's expensive too. But this way I can build it to the way she wants, and I know what's underneath it. It's good, you know, it's going to be all new plumbing and everything. It's going to be great. Good, starting from the ground up, pretty much. So it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. So I'll do some videos along the ride on that. So once I get the frame and as I collect parts and all that fun stuff. So you're going to be seeing square body build most likely, another Wagoneer, my Wagoneer, this guy, and then whatever else I end up bringing home or whatever friend brings over for us to work in the shop here. So that is the plan. And then of course you'll see these goofballs beside me here and there in the shop, getting in the way, helping. Anyways, so hopefully you guys like what you hear and you're liking what you see. Subscribe. I promise I'm going to try to make a video a week here coming up. It's been a little slow because of course, moving across country again was expensive, and I just haven't had the funds to really buy parts to work on that thing yet. So, but we're getting there. So we're going to start buying parts here soon and get the ball rolling on this guy. So this one is probably the one you'll be seeing a lot of videos on first coming up. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're still with me, thank you very much for sticking with to the end, and stay tuned. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever fancies you built, but I hope you guys are having a good final days of the year. 2025 is going to be bringing some really awesome stuff. I know it. All right, stay tuned.